You wouldn't build a house without a foundation, so don't build your business without one. This is Mindset Monday, where we lay out the tools, frameworks, and mindset you need to scale your contracting or trading business today.
Welcome back to Mindset Monday. I got a hoodie on because it's 45 degrees, raining, and it's snowing on the mountains. So it's cold. I think everybody's cold nowadays. So here's the funniest mention ever. Ground fog at 8:12 p.m. last night gave us the hand wave. So congratulations, my friend. You are first. Let's not start a trend where you guys start like commenting on Saturdays and stuff like that. I'm not around, so don't do it. You guys know the drill. If you're here live, go ahead and drop your name and your business name and where you're from, and we'll give you the good old shout out. Man, I'm like super excited, not just because this weekend was my birthday, because it was. I was telling Justin about some of the fun stuff that we did. We did a taco crawl. Now, I'm sure you've probably done some version of a bar crawl over the years. I'm not here to judge, but you've probably done some type of a bar crawl. We did a taco crawl. So we have 4 different taco shops and then a French bakery for dessert. And then we rated them all. And if you go to my my Facebook or my TikTok, you'll see I did a little compilation video. So you can kind of see the tacos, and then you can see how we rated them as well. I'll be real. We did not find the best tacos in Utah. Is what it is. I do like Arizona, California, obviously Mexico, but we're here. So, hey, you make do with what you got. We got La Bendición Construction out of Maryland. Welcome to the show. NC Drywall out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I just drove through there this summer. Beautiful place. And then we've got Gulliver with Grace Renovations out of Indiana. Go Hoosiers. What are they, ranked number 2 now? What is going on? That's going to be a great game. Ohio State, Indiana. Let me tell you, get some popcorn for that one. Well, we are almost through the entire month of October. Can you believe it? The entire month of October is almost gone. And yet here we are still in the middle of things. But I'll tell you something that kind of came to my attention last week. So last week I taught 3 different classes for contractors, and 2 of them had to do with a class that I teach called High Performing Teams. The reason that I teach it, number one, is because the state, when they approached me about teaching some of these classes for contractors, they asked me to teach specifically on teams. And at first I was kind of confused as to like, well, why do you want me to teach about teams? And then I realized, not just with my team as it's growing this year, but also with all the other contractors I deal with, how much people struggle when it comes to not just building the right team, but the entire process around it and behind it. And so it's been a great experience for me to be able to teach that class, give people some insights and whatnot, but also be able to apply those same principles to my business. And again, give you a perfect example. We just onboarded a new office manager, which I'm super excited about. Ryan's his name. So he's going to be helping us out with the growth of this company. And we're hiring a part-time for now estimator for our construction business, as well as a part-time project manager. So we are growing. In fact, we're in the process of bidding what could end up being a $3 to $4 million job, which is kind of crazy to think about considering our business isn't even a year old. Hey, don't worry. I'll share with you guys exactly how we do it, right? But that's the fun part behind all these things. So we got a couple comments here. We've got Jeff Bloom with Driftless Property Solutions. Welcome to the show, Motivated Laborers. Peace from Kirkwood, New York. I have no idea where Kirkwood, New York is. Maybe you'll let me know. And then Gulliver says, nice. And we've got Matt Beckel with Beckel Electric out of Belvedere, Illinois. Welcome to the show. Total side note, by the way, not a side note, but kind of a side note. When we're talking about teams, I got a text this morning from a client, an electrical contractor in Arizona, who's hiring a guy who openly admitted to him that he'd had a stroke 2 years ago, right? That's a big deal. I will tell you guys, just because it's top of mind right now, if you are hiring people that are involved in any type of physical labor, you can't do, let me see, That's the best way to say this. You can't treat them differently, right? Because of age or sex or things like that. That's a federal crime. But you can require everyone to do some type of what we call a fit for duty exam, which is what I mentioned to him. If you're going to be on ladders, if you're going to be, dealing with heavy machinery, if you're going to be out in the hot sun, and there's some physical requirements to the job, you can have a fit for duty policy, but it has to apply obviously to everyone. When I was working at the police department, we had one as well, obviously. So if you are going to do that, make sure it applies to everyone. If you guys want a template, I'd be more than happy to send over our template for that as well. We got Lane Interiors out of Charlotte as well. Man, we got a couple people on North Carolina. Beautiful. I love North Carolina. All right, so let's get into this thing, right? When we talk about a team, what are we actually talking about? And most people, the truth is, they don't understand what a good team is, right? So they want to find what we consider good people, great employees, right? Hard workers, but they don't understand what it really means inside of their business. So the first thing that you have to define inside of your business is, what are you actually looking for, right? And you're like, well, I need a project manager, or I need a lead, or I need an estimator, or I need an office assistant. That's great. That's a job title. That's not what you're looking for. So here's the process that we go through. Okay. Number one, most important for all of you is to define the position. Define the position first, right? I could say office manager, you could say office manager, but the roles and responsibilities are going to be different. Our office manager, for example, one of his main responsibilities, he's got three main ones, but one of them has to do with helping us with partnerships and sponsorships. That's one of his main roles, which probably will not be the same for you, but they'll have the same job title. Okay. So you're not looking for the same type of person. You have to define that role. That role not only includes what it is that you want them to do, it also includes qualifications, if there are any qualifications. Like if I got somebody who's going to be driving a truck with a trailer, I sure as hell don't want to teach them how to back that thing up. Why? Because I'm not very good at it. So I want somebody to come with that experience already. I'm going to make sure that's in there. If they're going to be lifting any type of heavy supplies or equipment, that's got to be part of that as well, right? So you have to define that as part of what it is you're looking for. The third piece, which honestly is the one that we struggle with the most, is that compensation and what that needs to look like. Listen, it's not just hourly. There could also be profit sharing, bonuses, time off, workman's comp, or excuse me, not workman's comp, benefits package, right? Any of all that kind of stuff. So the point is you got to get defined on what it is you're looking for first. Okay. Now, before you move on, if you have not created your core values, which help you define your company culture, stop right here. Because what you're going to end up doing is creating what we call the revolving door, right? Somebody comes in, you like them, they like you, they work for a little bit, then they leave. And you wonder why they left. They don't tell you. And so you're kind of stuck. So you hire the next person. And this thing keeps happening. Okay. I want you to think about it this way. Your core values, your company culture act like a magnet. They're either going to attract people to you or they're going to push them away, period. Okay. So I'd love to hear from you guys. How many of you have your core values defined? Like right now, if I put you on the spot, I brought you on the show and I said, hey, what are your core values? You'd be able to list them off. How many of you? If you got them, put a little hand wave or put a yes in the comments, something. I want to hear, because I'll tell you that 90% of contractors don't have them. And they're like, well, this isn't important to me. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Is growth important to you? Right? Because here's how it works. We've got our 4 core values. Number 1 is have fun. Number 2 is do the work. Number 3 is do what you said you're going to do. Number 4 is go the extra mile. I can repeat them. I know them. All my employees know them as well. But we use them as those pillars of foundation of who we are as a business. So I don't demand hard work out of my people. I hire hard workers. Do you see the difference there? I don't demand that people go the extra mile and open the doors for people and stay a little late at work. I hire people who are already attracted to that type of behavior. I don't force somebody to have fun. They come with that included, right? It's like the battery's not included when you're getting kids or toys as a kid, right? So the point is, you got to get to a point where your core values are helping you in the hiring process. They're removing the people who don't belong and they're attracting the ones that do, right? Ultimately, that's what you want. So I know I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole, but it's not a rabbit hole. You need your core values. Okay. The next thing, okay, when we start looking at a team, the next thing you need to understand is it's not about finding good people. Okay. It's about finding people who match the culture that you're building. Okay. So remember, people are not going to follow somebody that they don't like. They're not going to follow someone they don't trust. And they're not going to follow somebody that doesn't align with who they are as a person. Now, as much as this whole kumbaya, fruity, it's 2025, we got millennials, not millennials, what do we call them? Gen Zers, Gen whatever. Who cares? The point is, people are going to be attracted to you beyond just a paycheck. Because think about it this way. Would you rather hire somebody who's looking for their next job, or would you rather hire somebody who's looking for their next house? What's the difference between the two? Well, the next job, they're just looking for the next paycheck or who pays better. They'll bounce tomorrow. The next house or their first house, they're looking for that stability. They're looking for somebody long-term that they align with, that they enjoy going to work with and for. Like, that's what you want. I'll show you guys a picture. I think I've shown this before, but I'll show it again. My office assistant has been with me now for 5 years. 5 years, right? When you look at it, that's a decent amount of time. Well, why has she been with me for 5 years? Well, I'll tell you, the most important reason she's been with me is for the stability, right? So a year ago, she had a goal, and the goal was to buy a car. She'd never owned a car. In fact, she'd never driven a car. I know a lot of us find that hard to believe, but yeah, there are people out there who've never done that, right? She'd never done it. So we set out that goal. Okay, what do we need? Okay, you're going to need a down payment. You're going to need me making a certain amount of money, right? You're going to need all these things in order to be able to buy a car. Well, guess what? This happened. Okay, she got her first car, big red bow and everything. And she was so excited about getting her first car. Well, guess what? You think she's going to go anywhere now? No, because her next goal is to buy her first house, right? And I'm creating an environment for that to happen. Now, notice, I didn't say anything about her job description. I didn't say anything about her job duties. What I said is I'm creating a culture, an environment where people want to come and stay. That's what I'm creating. And that is 100% dependent on you, the business owner. We got Motivated Laborers here, says, great point. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. So what we're looking at doing is creating a culture where people want not just to come, but they want to stay. And that is 100% your responsibility. In fact, according to Gallup, Gallup does all those polls, 57% of people leave their job because of what they call poor leadership, right? They show up and they're like, well, what do you want me to do? Well, do your job. Don't you know how to do your job? You should know how to do your job. Are you that guy or that girl, right? Are you that boss that's like assuming that everybody knows how to do it, right? Well, you should know how to do it. Well, should they? My wife and I struggle with this all the time. Full transparency, right? We struggle with this all the time. Now, remember, she runs our commercial construction management company. And when we're talking about landing like over $3 million worth of work, like legit, it is one project, which is huge. But guess what? Every single night when we talk, she says, I can't get people to submit a bid. And I'm like, uh-huh. She's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, well, do you remember when you used to teach little kids when you had your preschool? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, same thing. And it sounds bad, right? But you have to get to the point where you're in charge. It's your business. You can't assume people are going to do what they say they're going to do. You can't assume that they have the skill set. You can't assume that they're going to do it the way you want it done. You can't assume. It is your business. It's your job to tell them. It's your job to hold them accountable. It's your job to be responsible. It's your job. It's your business, right? And I get it. It's hard. It's hard. But there's a reason that you left that safe job, guaranteed paycheck to be a business owner. And easy wasn't one of them. Okay. So think about that. Now, when it comes to employees, okay, understand this across the board. I don't care who you're hiring for what position, and I don't care how many years of experience that they have. If they are an employee, they need need three things. Okay. Number one, they need clarity around their job, right? You can't hire a framer and assume they know how to not just frame, but frame the way you want it done. You can't hire an electrician and be like, oh, you're a journeyman. You should know how to do this. Here, wire this service panel. And then assume that they're going to do it the way that you want it done. They're not. Okay. So they need to be educated. Okay. Educate them. Teach them what you want done and how you want it done. Okay. Number two, they need to be challenged. Good employees want to be challenged. And too often, we as business owners want to be like, it's okay. You're going to show up late. Oh, it's okay. Your car broke down. Oh, it's okay. You didn't get it done when you were supposed to. And we constantly give them an out. Great employees, good employees and great employees want to be challenged. So challenge them to rise up. Okay. But then number three comes into play, which is they want to be rewarded. I want my people to be rewarded. Right. And I just gave you an example with my office assistant of how we do that. Right. We bonus people on performance. Why? Because I want to reward the great behavior. But we also don't reward the bad behavior. All of our subs in our construction company know they will not get paid until the work is done to the level it needs to be done at, which means it's got to pass inspection, right? We're going through this right now with some framing that had to be redone because it failed inspection, right? Like it's little things, but all our guys know the standard, right? You want to get paid? Great. Here's how. You want to get a bonus? Great. Here's how. Okay. So I kind of went down a rabbit hole. Okay. But understand that. Now, next thing, don't hire out of desperation. Now, what do I mean by that? That means that all of a sudden that big job came in, or all of a sudden you're super busy and you're like, I need a person. I don't care who they are, as long as they got a heartbeat and a smile, or as long as they got a heartbeat and a truck that drives. I don't care. I just need somebody, which is a bold-faced lie. You don't need somebody. You need the right person, because if you hire the wrong person, what's going to happen? Well, I don't know. You're going to come back and redo the work that they were supposed to do, which is now causing you more work, why did you hire them in the first place? Catch my drift? Now, along with that, you're going to be paying more. Sorry, not sorry, right? Like if you think you're going to pick up a decent office person for under $20 an hour, good luck. Like you might get lucky, but truth is over $20 an hour. We're starting our office manager 25 within 6 months, probably be at $30 an hour. Why? Because that's what it's going to take to get a halfway decent one. Some of you guys need a project manager right now. You know what the going rate for a really good project manager is? 6 figures, not $65,000 to $75,000 according to Indeed, right? That's not the point. The point is, if you want good, you got to pay for good. But if you're landing the right jobs and you have the right culture, you'll be able to attract good. Okay. Quit settling for the bad employees. Quit settling for the bad hires. Quit settling for the person that isn't who you're looking for. If you show desperation, you will hire desperation. So quit hiring desperation. You're not desperate. Okay. Now, last little piece here. Good people want more than just paychecks. They don't just want to swing a hammer, right? They don't just want to dig a ditch. They want to build something meaningful. Here's another stat for you, okay? Companies with a strong sense of purpose see 49% lower turnover and 3 times higher engagement, which means they are keeping people longer and they have more engaged people. All of my team know this. We actively encourage them to say, hey, this is a better way to do that thing. That thing you want me to do, there's a better way to do it. Ordering materials, right? Fleet management, timing, clocking in, clocking out, right? Making sure your end of day reports are done. Whatever the thing is, we encourage people to constantly be part of the solution, not part of the problem. So ask yourself, with who you have right now on your team, whether it's subs or employees, but ask yourself, do you have a team that is helping you raise the bar, set the standard, or are you constantly having to remind people what to do, constantly having to double back and get people to redo stuff, constantly having to fix what's wrong in your business, right? Think about this. Purpose attracts passion. Passion drives performance. Purpose attracts passion. Passion drives performance. Okay? If they don't grow, they go. Period. Okay? So make sure that you're creating that environment. Now, some of you are like, hey, it's just me and I'm making my first hire. Great. Perfect opportunity to do it. Again, Chelsea's been with me for almost 5 years. My office assistant, 5 years. I had, I think, one part-time videographer when I first hired her, right? Why is she stuck around for the last 5 years? It's because of that purpose beyond the paycheck, right? She understands that she has an opportunity to grow. We've given her that opportunity. And I don't just mean her paycheck, which has grown, but the purpose beyond it, right? Her skill set has grown. Now she's got somebody that she's managing, a content specialist. Like, she's growing and she loves a challenge. She loves the opportunity, but she also loves the reward. Your job, to do the exact same thing. I want you to think about it this way, okay? One of the classes I taught last week had a contractor that's been in business, general contractor, but he's been in business for 50 years, right? It's about 70 years old, 50 years. And every single point that I made in the class, he's just sitting there nodding his head. And right at the end, I looked at him. His name was John. I said, John, can I ask you a question? He's like, sure. I said, what advice would you give to the guy who's just starting out or has 1 or 2 employees, been in business for less than 5 years? What advice would you give to them? You want to know what he said? He said, leaders who grow people never run out of people. Leaders who grow people never run out of people. I want to challenge you, each and every one of you, wherever it is that you are, whatever type of business model you have, to start to grow people. Think of your business as that type of factory. I'm in the people growing business. I'm not an electrician. I'm not a plumber, right? I don't do interiors, exteriors. I don't do drywall or paint or renovations. I build people. And I guarantee you, if you shift your focus to growing people, your business will change forever. Like, I don't care that people are like, well, if I train on how to do everything, they're going to leave and start their own business. So what? They're going to leave anyway, right? Get to a point where your people are staying with you because of that opportunity. I can tell you from, dozens of case studies, successful companies, we're talking 8 figures plus, who have talked to me about building up people. Sometimes they leave and they're okay with it because they continue building up people. And those really good people who left, guess what happens to them? They come back. They come back because they realize that they had it so much better here. They come back because, you know what? It's really hard to run a business on your own, right? They come back. Not all of them, but the good ones do, right? So that's my challenge for you. You're in the people growing business. Start growing people. All right. So on top of that whole thing, by the way, your people need systems, they need processes, they need tools. Okay. So right now, you guys don't know this. Some of you do, but some of you don't. Contractor Plus is going through a growth phase as well. So they're coming out with version 2 here shortly. And I'm going to have Justin come on and explain a little bit more about those details.
What's going on, everyone? So good news. We are in the final stretch of V2 testing. We've been done for, 6 weeks now, and just testing everything, making sure it's stable for the migration. And we've decided to push the first build out this coming Monday morning at 7 a.m. It will be live. That said, Friday night or Saturday morning at midnight Eastern, we have to take our servers offline. So if you're using Contractor Plus, just know you won't be able to access Contractor Plus this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, it will be offline for maintenance. We are migrating all of our data. It's a complete, so V2, while there's a lot of similarities, and you're going to notice the structure and the layout and the modules, a lot of it's the same. It was a complete revamp, back end and front end rewrite. So what that means is it's a new code base. So the code that powers Contractor Plus today is not the code that powers Contractor Plus this coming Monday. So we need a couple days to be on the safe side to migrate everything, test, and make sure there's no issues. And from Monday forward, V2 will be live. With V2, we've completely revamped. We've gutted and revamped our estimates module. So now our estimates have optional line items, better group management, dragging and dropping and sorting in and out of different groups. We have set up an auto roundoff, a roundup feature. So if you add materials in an assembly for a task, say for drywall hanging, you add your drywall sheets and your drywall screws, and then you set what you need for 48 square, one sheet of drywall, and then you go and enable that ratio lock with the auto roundup, and then you scale it to the size of the job. Say it's a 4,000 square foot drywall job, it's going to automatically scale up the amount of screws and sheets you need to complete that job. So you bring in your live price from whatever supplier you work with, and we'll automatically calculate the amount of materials you need. We've also vastly improved, completely redone the front end, what your clients see when you send them an estimate. So that whole experience is just a lot more clean and easy on the eyes. It's going to convert better, definitely. But most importantly, what I'm most excited about is Estimatic AI. We have decided to make it free or included in our pro plan at Contractor Plus.
Wow.
So with V2, we have new plans we're introducing. We've simplified everything. So currently we have a basic plan, a pro plan, an ultimate plan. We have some enterprise customers and, on a separate plan. We've just standardized everything. We wanted to simplify the pricing model. We don't want to hide or gate our most powerful features behind these enterprise plans that cost hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars a month. I think that's ridiculous. So it's just pro. So we have a freedom plan, which is our freemium offer, which we have today. We call it basic today. We're just rebranding it as freemium or as freedom. And then we have our pro plan. Pro starts at $29 paid annually for one seat. And then we have Pro Team, which is the same as Pro, except it gives you your first two seats. Now, the cool thing is the cost per seat is decreasing with V2. So if you're currently on an ultimate plan with 5 users, you're actually going to save money by switching to a V2 plan. Wow. So we wanted to make Contractor Plus more affordable and economical at scale, so that as you grow your business, your software expenses don't have to grow, outgrow your business. So estimates is a big piece of this. Estimatic AI is a big piece of this. We've also added a new module called Opportunities. Opportunities is a Kanban, which it allows you to track your sales flow pipeline. So you can track and you can customize the pipeline stages and the statuses from the point where you initially receive the lead all the way to the point where it's converting and you're getting you're sending off that final invoice. So you can see how much value you have. You can also filter by certain team members. So it works really good for your sales process. If you have multiple sales guys and you're a growing business, you can track who's performing and who's not, what their conversion rates are. It allows you to visualize where your leads are in the pipeline and how they're converting.
That's awesome.
In addition to that, our CRM that we have today, if you go to the client's profile in Contractor Plus V1, you're going to notice it's just a bunch of fields where you can store their contact information. That's kind of been the de facto standard in construction. I don't understand why we call this a CRM. It's not really it's just a glorified contact book. So we wanted to build an industry first CRM that is on par with the best CRMs in the world, but tailored to the trades. And that's what we've done with Contractor Plus V2. Every contact, every property, every job has a timeline view where you can see the activity log, every point of communication, emails, text messages, phone calls with recordings, notes, things that have happened on their account. They paid an invoice, you sent them an estimate, whatever, in a timeline view that's time and date stamped. So you can see who sent it from your team, who opened it on their side, what date and time it was done. And you have that for every contact, for every job site, and for every property. With that, we've added property profiles. So every single service address has its own profile and activity log and schedule and everything, just like a contact would. We have also we've completely revamped the jobs module. So we've, really addressed what does project management need to look like on a multi-phase construction project. There's two types of jobs. There's a recurring job, which is perfect for your recurring service visits, scheduled work, landscaping, routine HVAC checkups, whatever, pool service, any service business. And then there is a standard job, which we've added phases, tasks, and subtasks with a Gantt chart. So you can track on a timeline, on a Gantt view, each phase of the project, and you can assign individual tasks, subtasks, or phases to individual team members. And this is just really, there's so much more. I could go on for hours. I will say the only thing I'm not mentioning right here, I haven't mentioned, is the two-way communication piece, which is our built-in phone system we're calling Contractor Plus Voice. Two-way texting. We're adding a unibox, an inbox where all of your emails and your text messages and even your phone calls and voicemails all go to that central inbox for your entire team. That is all done. We're not shipping it on Monday because it requires additional testing. But the good news is it is done, and we're finishing the final round of testing. As soon as V2 ships, we aim to have it out in the month of November. So you will have a built-in business phone system. You have everything. We're calling it the complete OS or operating system for contractors. So just know Friday night, we're going offline, Saturday morning at midnight, and you will not be able to access Contractor Plus until Monday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern. So if you have anything to wrap up, any invoices to send off, anything you need done, get it done before Friday night. And that's
Beautiful.
all on my side.
Listen, I don't think you guys understand exactly what's coming, but here's what you need to know, Reader's Digest version. It's going to be better for you. It's going to be faster, and it's going to help you ultimately do what it is that you want to do, which is run a more profitable and scalable business. So stay tuned for this weekend. Version 2.0 of Contractor Plus is coming for you. All right. Check your email as well. You get some emails this week with some of these details as well. Don't forget, though, next weekend, Contractor Plus will be offline so that by the time you wake up on Monday morning, version 2 will be live. All right. We appreciate you guys and gals showing up today. Do you know what time it is? Time to go make that cheese. Time to get after it. 3, 2, 1.